Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I will do Ryze guide because I played a lot of games with Ryze, and I can give you some pretty good tips on Ryze. So let's begin with runes. I tested many things on my Ryze, and I played a lot of games with Ryze. So that's what I found out. So if you are new with Ryze, you always want to pick these runes. Like for at least 20 to 30 games, just to feel your range, your limits. It gives you a lot of safety. You just pick these runes in every lane. Because firstly you need to learn how to play properly with champion, and then you can start to experiment with different rune choices. Then you will feel confident that you can survive. You can start picking these runes. And when you will feel more comfortable, you can try to swap for Scorch instead of Gathering Storm, but you need to use a Scorch against low range mages. So for example, Aurelion Sol, Cassiopeia, Anivia, I don't know, Aurora, where you can pretty easily proc a Scorch, and you will use Gathering Storm against high range mages. With Precision, you can swap with Presence of Mind and Leisure Haste, but I don't really like Presence of Mind because you build a lot of mana. You build tier and mana crystal, so it gives you a lot of mana, and I don't really need Presence of Mind. But if you are struggling with mana, you can pick Presence of Mind. But I just prefer Last Stand because Arcadial Staff gives you shield when you're low on HP, and you can survive much longer. And you can deal more damage. So yeah, these runes are only when you feel more comfortable and you feel that you don't really need bone plating plus overgrowth to survive lane phases. But still, you even if you are comfortable with champs, there are few matchups that are very hard to survive. So that would be these ones, where even if you are feeling comfortable, I still highly suggest you to pick these runes, just because these matchups are very tough and hard to survive. So yeah. Before going to another runes, that's a bit of disclaimer that First Strike, Conq, Electrocute, you must have at least 100 games before using these runes, because the way I see these runes is a bit out of Ryze identity. So you really need to have a really good understanding about champion. So yeah, play at least 100 games before dropping Phase Rush. Okay, so next choice you have First Strike or Conquer. So you pick these runes against champions that you can't really kill, and they can't kill you, and you can easily proc first strike. So let's talk firstly about first strike. So you just use your E or use your W and try to proc first strike as much as possible. So yeah, there's not much to say about it. So Conquer is another great scaling rune, and you pick these runes in the same cases as first strike. But what's the difference is you pick Conquer against a lot of melee champions and more tanky enemy comp, because Conquer is much better in the longer fights. It heals you, it gives you adaptive force. Meanwhile, First Strike helps you to reach your build much faster and one-shot squishy enemies. So yeah, you use First Strike against squishies and Conquer against more tanky and melee comps. And last one is Electrocute. So Electrocute runes would be these ones. And Electrocute I use against I use in matchups where I feel extremely comfortable and I feel like I can easily win lane phase and snowball. So that would be these matchups. So yeah, and Electrocute is extremely easy to proc with Ryze. You can pick at level 1 W, and you just use one auto, then you use your W, and they are slowed and they can't escape your third auto, and you use your third auto, and you proc Electrocute. At level 2, it becomes even more easier. You just quickly press E, W, you root, and then you just one auto attack, and you proc Electrocute. So that's why I like Electrocute. And yeah, pick this rune in very easy matchups where you feel you can snowball. Oh, I'm sorry, actually there is one more rune, which is Grasp of Undying, aka Tank Ryze. You use this rune when your team has no front line and no one will peel for you. So yeah, these runes will give your team at least some sort of tankiness, but I don't know, I highly suggest dodge these games. But if you use your dodges or you don't want to dodge for some reason, you can pick this. You can pick this tank rune and build a more tanky build. So yeah, that's about runes. Now let's get to the items. Okay, so items. Your first buy always will be a Tear of Goddess and 2 potions. I mean, I saw that people are buying Doran's Ring, but I don't really like this buy because it gives you much less mana. As you can see, it doesn't even give mana, so you will run out of mana very quick. And your first base ideal would be Dark Seal, Boots, Mana Crystal, and Control Ward. That's the most ideal base, but it can also just work any other item with mana crystal. Firstly, you must buy a mana crystal, and then if you have gold, you can buy either dark seal or boots. You always buy refillable when you use your potions, and you should not ever die without using your 2 potions. So always use your potions, and if you need more sustain, just buy a refillable potion. So yeah, that's your first base. Then your second base, you will buy towards Archangel Staff first. I mean, you can go for Rod of Ages, but you deal much more damage with Archangel Staff, and you will get your Archangel Staff upgrade much faster, which gives you, I believe, much more survivability than the Rod of Ages. So that's why I prefer Archangel Staff first. Then your second item, you will buy Blackfire Torch or Rod of Ages. So Rod of Ages you are buying when you are ahead and you have a lot of gold, and you can buy Rod of Ages before minute 17. Because you will have a lot of time to stack it, and if you are ahead, if your team is ahead, most likely you will survive at least until 27th minute. But if you are behind, or your team is extremely behind, you buy Blackfire Torch because it gives you more early power, and you won't need to worry about stacking it. So your boots choices are Ionian boots, Sorceress. I didn't add plate of steel caps, and mercury threads. So Ionian boots you use when you are not only one AP champion or enemy team is pretty tanky. Sorceress boots you use when you are the only one AP champion in your team. Plated seal caps you use when enemy team is very high AD, very heavy AD. And the mercury threads when they have a lot of CC. So yeah, that's about boots. Then your first item always will be Rabadon. Then you can upgrade your boots, but firstly get Rabadons. And you upgrade your boots, or just go for magic penetration item. Sadly, Abyssal Mask doesn't give magic penetration anymore, so I didn't quite tested it yet. How good this item is, but your magic penetration item most cases will be Void Staff. But if you have like 3 AP champions, you can go for this new item because it will reduce multiple enemies magic resistance, and if we have a lot of AP champions, this can be very valuable. And your last item will be Magi's, Zonia's, Frozen Heart, and Banshee's Veil, or Abyssal Mask. So Zonia's you use against AD champions that are not very out attack based. So for example, assassins or juggernauts like Darius, Seth, and each. Frozen Heart auto attack based. So for example, ADCs, Irelia, Yasuo, Yon, etc. Banshee's Veil against AP champions, and Abyssal Mask when your team has a lot of AP and enemy team has a lot of AP. So that's a bit niche item, but it's still a good one in certain scenarios. And then if game goes extremely long, you can sell your boots and buy either Cosmic Drive or Storm Surge. So Cosmic Drive against more tanky champions and Storm Surge against squishes. And of course you buy AP Elixir when you can. So yeah, that's about items, and let's get into the tips. Okay, so talking about combos, you can instantly root enemy with flash. So that's the most important thing with Ryze, that you first press E, then you flash, and instantly you can use W, and you leave a 0 reaction time for enemy to escape your root. Because if you firstly flash and then root, it comes much slower. Press E and then use flash and instantly use W. So yeah, that's the most important trick with Ryze. Then talking about combos, most of the times you will use your Q+E+W+Q. It prevents enemy from fighting back, and you can easily disengage. Other use of this combo, you can chase enemy, and they don't have a really good escape plan, because you get your phase rush, you get and they are rooted, and you can easily chase them out. Because if you, for example, use your EQ+W+Q, they are just load, and they can easily like flash out and get away. So yeah, most of the time you want to root them. So use of another combo is when enemies running away and you don't have time to root them. So you just press W, then E, and then Q, and then with phase rush and movement speed from Q, you chase them down. And you get like a lot of movement speed, and you can easily chase them out even if they flash. Okay, so another combo is one shot combo, which you usually use when you are sitting in a bush and enemy squishy champion face checks you, and you just one tap them.
That's not about these mortals. That's why I keep them at arm's length. Your concern.
But be careful with this combo, because if you want one-shot them, they usually will dash or CC you and they can get away. So make sure you kill them. So you sit in the bush, and then you can use your Q W+E+Q. So yeah, that's about combos. So yeah, now your ultimate is you can use your ultimate very creative things. So you can always escape from danger. So you're, for example, you're doing grabs with your jungler, and suddenly enemy top laner comes, enemy mid laner comes, enemy support, enemy jungler, and if you are just 2 against 4, you can press ult and just press on the map somewhere, and you just escape. So yeah, that's one use of ult. You of course can use your ult by when you are roaming. So for example, it especially works well with your jungler. So for example, your jungler is doing blue buff, yeah, and you already see that he doesn't have any more camps to take. You can just ping him, and you can come near him, and you can just roam with your jungler, or you can roam alone. So yeah, that's really great use of Ryze ult. So another use that I really like with Ryze, if this tower and this tower is gone, so this tower and this tower is gone, and you are pushing mid, or you are pushing bot, you can take this tower, and then you can take an inhibitor, and you can just ult well wave into this lane and take this tower and this inhibitor. So yeah, that's really great thing. Also, I love using my art to influence my team's decision. So you just got like 2 kills on mid lane, and your team feels lost what they need to do next. You can just ult them to the Baron, or ult them to the Drake, and most of the times they will just start this Baron. But yeah, you need to make sure that that you can actually take it, because if the whole team dies, then it's kinda your fault that you forced your whole team to take a Baron. Yeah, so another use of ult is just to take farm. So there are 2 scenarios. So you're, for example, you just won team fight in mid lane, and a huge wave is pushing, for example, bot lane. So you just move to the jungle, and you teleport to take that wave and to take maybe some camps, and yeah. And another scenario is when you took inhibitor, you can instantly ult to their jungle. This only prevents enemy team from killing you, and you won't need to run all the way from inhibitor to here. So yeah, it gives you much time, and you won't get caught. And also you can ult and take really quick all camps, and then just recall. So yeah, that's two scenarios when you use your ult to farm,
Who seek power.
and that's about it. So yeah, your main goal with Ryze is just to take as much gold as possible with camps and CS, because he kills waves and camps really quick,
I was a part of it.
and you just try to you have point and click CC, so you can really easily catch enemies. So yeah, that's it. And thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.